and welcome back to Slushie Review. This is Keith.
And this is Chris.
And today we will be reviewing the new movie, Black Widow. Young Black Widow, technically. Because she never makes it to old Black Widow. So, obviously, brand new movie. So, there's going to be spoiler alerts. Let me say that right up front. Because sometimes I forget. And also, Black Widow today is brought to you by Pink Lemonade Slushies.
Delightful.
Because that's the only flavor I had left. But there will be new flavors next week. I mean, the same old flavors.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, like, did they invent new flavors?
I am going to invent new flavors. Strawberry.
Blue strawberry.
Ooh, blue strawberry lemonade. Sounds delicious, actually. Man, it's blue. Let's see. What else we got? So this movie is, again, spoiler alert, this movie sets up something at the end, which we will talk about when we get there. And it's keeping the Marvel stuff going because as we speak, Loki is on his last episode.
Yep.
On a couple days, or actually when this airs, it will be the last episode over with. And then we got Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, What If, Hawkeye, Shang-Chi. What else do we have? Is there something else? I know you're saying Armor Wars.
The Eternals is coming.
Oh, the Eternals. I forget about them.
Is it this year or is it next year?
I don't know because I kind of forgot about them.
I forget. Yeah, like we're getting to the point of Marvel in the MCU at least where like I'm going to be out of my depth as far as like, oh, I know who that character is. Like pretty much after this one.
Yeah.
And possibly Doctor Strange and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Movies, like the next ones, I might be out of my depth because, and maybe the Black Panther movie that's coming up. Because once we get to Eternals, no idea who they are.
No clue.
Shang-Chi, probably have almost no idea who's in that one, except for everyone's seen Wong in the trailer and Abomination.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it's unknown, it's uncharted territory until Guardians 3 and Thor 4. So, which I'm looking forward to.
No, I am too. I'm okay with not knowing.
Yeah.
Because that leads me to more stuff that I can be excited about.
Yeah, because when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, I didn't know who they were.
No, facts.
And apparently a lot of people didn't. Like, if you weren't, like, a real comics reader, you probably weren't going to know who they were. And now everybody fucking knows who they are. They got their own video game coming out. And they've been in, besides the movies, they've been in a ton of other, like, games and other shit. And they've had more merch and comics and everything. So, like, these new characters, like old characters, but like new to a lot of people characters are going to get a lot more exposure. They're going to get more actors, more exposure. I'm all right with it.
I'm excited.
Let's get there.
Marvel is doing some stuff.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. And keep it big budget. I love it.
Yeah.
I know people hate Disney, but I mean, they've been pushing out some good stuff.
They may be evil.
That's fair.
But they're entertaining. But damn it, they're entertaining.
That's usually how it works with evil things and evil people.
Warner Brothers can't seem to get their shit together.
Maybe they should be evil.
Maybe they should be. Apparently, they already are pretty evil.
Facts.
But it's not. But it's not good enough. Like it's not evil enough to be like sustain a universe and make like a number of quality movies that. And series that like Marvel has done and Disney has done.
And that's the thing. I think about, like they say, Disney's evil. Yeah, they're apologizing for their 70-year-old, anti-Semitic views of their creator.
Yeah.
Sure, they're still apologizing for that. DC's apologizing for being racist this year. So, you know what?
That's fair.
I'm going to stick with Disney.
Yeah. I'll go with the devil I know. He's like, yeah, sorry about Uncle Remus.
Yeah.
Sorry about all that stuff. Sorry about the crows in Dumbo. Sorry about all that other stuff.
Same.
From like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. And Warner Bros. Is like, so about that email I sent you last week.
Right.
You weren't supposed to get that.
So Ray Fisher, huh?
Yeah.
Still talking about that?
Yeah. No one's forgotten about that yet?
What's the word I can't say?
Amber Heard is the word you can't say.
Ooh. Spicy.
Ooh.
I love it.
We're getting topical on this one. Tough crowd.
Same.
Just learned it today. A round of applause is customary.
Facts. I love it. Let's see. Let's hear a word from our sponsors, which will be me. Thank you for listening. We definitely appreciate it. Make sure you follow us at Slushie Review on Twitter at Slushie Review. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just search Slushie Review. We pop up. We're the first result. And then check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And also, coming soon, Instagram. Follow us on IG.
The gram.
At Slushie Review Podcast.
Yes.
We just started it. Need some followers. Need some likes. Okay. Welcome back. Thank you to our sponsors, Keith and Chris. Slushies.
We're rich as fuck. We're sponsoring the whole thing ourselves.
Love it. I love it. We're the Lunts.
Will you excuse me, please?
So either way, we're going to switch it up a little bit, and we're going to go with Chris with the cast.
Yes.
The very small cast, but the cast.
Relatively.
Unless you name every widow, but...
I'm not.
Facts.
I'm not gonna.
Definitely not doing that.
Okay.
Well,
So,
not.
of course. Most definitely. So, of course, first up, Scarlett Johansson returns to the MCU as Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow. We've seen her in a bunch of movies so far. I'm not going to go in depth on that. Next up, Florence Pugh, Yelena Belova, her adopted sister from the Widow program. They were raised for a few years together. She is pretty similar to Black Widow in like style and ability. I know her character from the comics exists. She's not one that I'm like super familiar with. Like I know the name.
Okay.
I knew about her existence prior to this movie. I didn't know they were gonna do that thing at the end with her, but hopefully that is awesome because I liked her in this.
Facts.
Next up, Rachel Weisz was Melina. She was their mother. She has been in a few things. Nothing that I can really say that, oh, hey, I knew her from that.
No.
Aside from this.
She was really popular a long time ago with, like, I think she was in, like, I don't know what to say she was in, but, like, one of the TV shows, like, starts with a C. Something Girl, Charmed, Gossip Girl, something like that. She was in one of those kind of shows.
Oh, she was in a couple of the Mummy movies, I guess.
That is her. She was the main chick.
Evelyn Carnahan?
Yeah, she was Brendan Fraser's wife.
Oh.
I knew I liked her. I do like her. I know, I was just going off like, oh, she was something. Yeah. Yes, she was in I love the Mummy movies, by the way.
I've never seen them.
Great. Okay, not great, but they're good. And Brendan Fraser's great in it. She's good in it. The Rock is terrible in it, but he was in it.
Oh, that's not the movie I thought it was. Is that she's in a movie called The Deep Blue Sea? I was like, wait, that's not the one. But Tom Hiddleston is in that one, apparently. Okay. Moving on. Next up, David Harbour is Alexei / Red Guardian. We know him from Stranger Things. I think he was in the Hellboy reboot.
Yeah, he was. He was Hellboy.
He was in Suicide Squad, the first one.
I don't remember who he was.
Tolliver. He was one of the government guys. I just looked it up on the thing. He was one of the Asian guys with
I read it too, and
Waller.
I was like, I don't know who that is.
I remember seeing him in it now. I'm like, oh shit, David Harbour. And you were
That's
like,
fair.
who?
Who is right?
That's pretty much the main things I know him from. Next up, Ray Winstone was Dreykov, the villain. I remember him from... What did I say I remembered him from? Indiana Jones.
Crystal Skull.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. He was Mac in that. He was a double agent with... he and Indy were like double agents together in Berlin, and then he was working with the Russians, but he wasn't. And then he fucking punched him in the face because he told him once he let him out of the chair, Indiana Jones was going to break his nose. As soon as he undid his arm shackle, he punched him in the face. He's like, he broke my nose. I'm like, well, I told you.
He died at the end. That's all I know.
Yep. At the end of the movie, he went back for the treasure, and he fucking died when the aliens were like going back to their interdimensional thing. He got...
Oh, there's aliens in that one?
Yeah, and that's why people didn't like it.
That's fair.
Because they'll believe God. They'll believe God exists and that he's pissed and then he'll melt your fucking face off. But no, aliens is too far-fetched.
Wait, was God in one of them?
God was in all three of the original
okay.
ones. In
So
the first one, they open up the Ark of the Covenant, and if you look into it, fucking ghosts come out and melt your face off. If you look at them, or if your face will melt, your head will explode, you'll wither up into a corpse and just fucking collapse into a pile of bones. And the second one, it's the Indian gods. The gods of India are real, of the Hindu beliefs. So, like, a dude reaches into a man's chest and pulls a still beating heart out, and while the person is lowered into a pit of lava, and then the heart catches fire as it's still beating, and people like drink blood and are put into like mind control things. And the third one, they're looking for the Holy Grail, and they find it, and it keeps Sean Connery alive. And a man drinks from the wrong one, and he withers up into the fucking Crypt Keeper and dies. So, like, God's existence is plausible to some people, but aliens, that's too far.
Listen,
I thought it was just fine.
I've seen pictures of Jesus, and I've seen pictures of an alien ship. Let me tell you which one I think actually happened. I'll say that for a different podcast.
Okay. All right. Next up, we've got O.T. Fagbenley. He was Mason. He was Natasha's like supplier. Helped her relocate. Helped her disappear.
Yeah.
Got her a trailer. Got her a generator. Got her a helicopter. Got her not a jet, a helicopter. Got her all kinds of shit.
Then got her a jet.
Then got her a jet at the end.
Quinjet of
Yes.
that. How do you steal a Quinjet?
Yeah, he just needed time and money.
That's fair.
Next up, returning to the MCU, William Hurt is back as Secretary Ross.
Yeah.
We've seen him in Civil War, Infinity War. Was he in Winter Soldier? Or did he show up when the Sokovia Accords became a thing? Because he was in the Incredible Hulk.
So my thing is it the same secretary? I thought it was a different guy.
I think it's the same one.
But you're correct. He is Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah.
He just looks. His picture on this looks different.
His picture on my screen right now is a picture of Scarlett Johansson.
Hilarious. She said she can do it.
She can do it all.
Yeah, he was in all of them. The only one he wasn't in was in Incredible Hulk, which we still have to watch.
That'd be down.
Oh no, he was in Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy.
Yeah. He kept the same role.
He doesn't look the same. He never looks the same.
Like from movie to movie?
Yeah. I picture him as skinnier. I don't picture him as this picture. The picture I'm looking at, it's not the picture I can...
Yeah.
Whatever. Whoever he is.
Yeah, because if I remember right from the comics, his character becomes the Red Hulk.
So in the Incredible Hulk 2008, they got him listed as General Thunderbolt Ross.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Either way, good times.
Next up, we got Olga Kurilenko as Antonia / spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
As Antonia, if we didn't already do it at the beginning, because we did.
3 times.
As Antonia / Taskmaster, Dreykov's daughter, / the... I don't know. She's a villain. Not like the big villain. I'd say Dreykov is the big villain.
Fair.
But she's like the threat. Like the physical threat villain
That's fair.
of this one.
He's the brains.
She's the muscle.
Yeah, fair.
Aside from that, I'd say that's the... Well, do we want to talk about the end credit scene here? Or do we just want to let that come up organically?
Yeah, we can just wait.
Because
Because
it's only one
we're going to
person.
talk about it.
Okay. It's only one person, and if
Yeah.
you watch all the things, you've seen her already.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that now. We'll
Is
get
she
into that later.
not in the cast?
She's uncredited. She's on the cast list, but she's uncredited.
Oh, at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Ooh.
Okay, so that's the cast. Aside from a lot of widows and prisoners and guards.
Yeah.
And there's nobody that I'm aware of note within those. No former pro wrestlers that I can see. So
Fair.
that would be about what I would get excited about.
Facts.
So that's it for the cast. I'm going to throw it over to Keith for the plot of Black Widow.
Let's go with the plot. Okay, so the Black Widow takes place after Civil War. Um, actually, it starts out in 1995, and they show a young Natasha and Yelena and Red Guardian and Melina. They're as a family, and then you find out that they're Russian operatives. And they steal something from the United States, and then they have to fly to Cuba, and they're met with Dreykov, and Melina's hurt. She's presumably dead, and the two girls are taken to the Red Room. If you've seen Civil War, is it Civil War? Yeah. If you've seen Civil War,
Age of Ultron also.
Age of Ultron, sorry. If you've seen Age of Ultron, then you know about the Red Room. She talks about the Red Room. She talks about being, in the Red Room, training to be an assassin at a very young age, and also becoming sterile. Right? Isn't that the right word? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't for sure it was the right word.
Well, the right word is not monster, which is one of the words she uses on herself.
That's also fair. So that's how we start off the movie, and then it says 21 years later, and that's 2016, and it's after Civil War. And she is on the run from Secretary Ross, hiding out. And then we reveal that Yelena, they don't say her name at first, though, so you don't really know who she is. Honestly, they didn't really say her name until like 3/4 away into the movie, and I was like, who's Yelena? Because I heard Serena at one point, and I was like, I was about to write it down, and I was like, I don't know who that is.
I think I've been spoiled by closed captioning on movies at home.
Facts. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So
I used to hate it. Now I'm like,
you can't
what did they say?
It.
Rewind it.
Yeah.
No, I can't live without it.
Can't live without it.
It was like having a fan to go to sleep. I used to never do it.
Same.
Now I can't do without it.
Can't do it. Listen, same. So she shows up. They're trying to assassinate somebody, and then she gets hit with a cloud of red dust, or red fumes of some sort, gaseous material. And she loses some kind of mental trance that she's in. She cuts out her tracker, and she's on the run. And she takes something from the lady she killed. So Natasha's on the run. This girl, Yelena's on the run. And they meet up. And Natasha finds out that the Red Room is still operative, or is still operational. It's not fully operational, but no, it's actually fully operational. Bitch is in the sky. We find out, but we find out that she finds out it's operational. She's like, "It can't be. I killed Dreykov," and Yelena was like, "Did you though?" Mm-hmm. She was like, "Yeah, of course." She's like, "Did you see a body?" She was like, "Well, he blew up.
There was no body."
Yeah. So now her mission is to end the Red Room where she got her training, and now it's been 21 years or however long since the Red Room's been active, and she thought she destroyed it years ago, and she did not. So, and then in the meantime, we find out there's this robotic figure, and we find out later it's a Taskmaster. But there's this robotic figure that's hunting the gaseous materials, and this person is fucking amazing, by the way. And this person's power is that they can copy any fighting style as long as they see it once. So as this person's fighting Natasha, she does a move, the screen flips, and then Taskmaster is doing the same move to Natasha. It was really quick, and I lost it. I was like, what just happened? And then she's kicking the shit out of Natasha for the longest time. And so, fun times. Then the gang, I think I might have glossed over some stuff, but the gang gets back together. Yelena, they find out Melina's alive. They break Red Guardian or Alexei out of prison. Or what does she call him? The Crimson
Dynamo.
Crimson Dynamo.
That's a different character,
right?
That's like a Russian Iron Man, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, I figured. I was like, that's a thing.
Yep.
I just never know, but I'm like, if they say it, it's a thing.
Yeah.
So they break him, the Red Guardian, out of jail because he's in jail for his life. They break him out and they go see Milena. And because Milena is the scientist, she's the brains behind the mind control. And then she finds out that they're actually they mind controlled her fake daughters, Yelena, and well, no, not Natasha, but they mind controlled Yelena, and she didn't.
Well, I think they controlled Natasha because they just said like you got out. So I don't know if that means like she got out without getting controlled, or if someone, or if like maybe Clint saved her.
Yelena said something. She goes, "You were just you were cognitively conditioned." She's like, "We were mind controlled."
Okay.
So she was just conditioned at a young age to do the things she was doing. These people were mind controlled that they couldn't stop it if they wanted to. And so yeah, there's that. Let's see, where does the story go from there? So they find out where the Red Room is. It's floating in the sky, out of sight in Budapest. and they're going to bring it down. That's their goal. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. That's the plot of Black Widow, and a lot of things happen. A lot of, friends are made along the way and things like that. it's. We'll talk about it. Let's just get into it. Let's get into some likes.
Let's do it.
Do you want to go first, or do you want to tag team?
Let's tag team it.
Let's do it. I'll let you go first.
Okay. I'm gonna throw my first like out there.
Throw it out there.
Taskmaster.
Same.
Taskmaster was awesome.
From the moment it's a she. Spoiler alert. It's Antonia. As soon as she got on the screen, you take it away because I'll take over.
Because they were like, activate Taskmaster protocol. I wasn't expecting to see them that early for one, because that was like pretty much as soon as the action started in the movie. Like, oh, there they are. And like, okay, and they're just like watching. Like, it looked like just watching tape, just watching old footage of Cap kicking ass, or like Natasha doing shit.
Was it?
I
think it was Barton.
Well, he was pulling out all kinds of moves. Or she was pulling out moves. She had Cap shield abilities. Mm-hmm. She had Hawkeye's. She had a bow and arrow like Hawkeye.
That bow and arrow came out. I was like,
she had claws like the Black Panther.
She did.
And that's when I was like, because it's in a trailer that they're just like the real quick, like the claws come out, and I was like, when is this movie set? Because it can't be like it had to be post Civil War, because we didn't know who that was prior to that, and he wasn't the Black Panther. Like T'Challa wasn't the Black Panther before that, so I was like, okay, that was awesome.
I'd never seen that in the trailer. I only seen the trailer once.
She was, I think it's a newer trailer, unfortunately, but she did the Black Panther claws, Captain America's shield, Hawkeye's bow. Natasha's just like, I don't know what fighting style it is, but the Hurricane Ranas, the luchador, the flying head scissor takedowns, all that shit.
Taskmaster's gonna have a match for whose son is
all the custody of
Yelena.
Custody of Yelena versus Taskmaster versus Natasha in a ladder match, and Dreykov just comes out there and screams at her the whole time. But no, Taskmaster was awesome, because nobody beat Taskmaster in a fight.
No.
Red Guardian's like, something I can break. Gets his ass beat. Gets his ass beat.
I was like, okay, he's super powerful.
Yeah.
But he was no match for this girl.
He was out of practice. He was rusty. He had all that ring rust. He was just chilling in jail, winning arm wrestling contests.
Hilarious.
Which was fun. He broke that dude's arm.
Oh.
We'll get to him. But no, Taskmaster was sweet. Natasha couldn't beat her on the bridge. Red Guardian couldn't beat her in the fucking Death Egg Zone up in at the end of Sonic, up in the sky. And then Natasha couldn't beat her again on the ground. She had to like do the red mist on her. Otherwise, she was going down. Taskmaster had a sword, and she knew how to use it. And Natasha was like, okay, I just try not to die, I guess.
I didn't write this down, but I'm going to say Natasha got her ass whooped half this movie.
Yeah.
She was getting her ass kicked by Taskmaster, by... Who else? Yelena was giving it to her.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Natasha, win one for us.
The Widows.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
They kicked the shit out of her. I was like, okay, she got... Oh. They were. And then, I don't know if you heard me, when the one girl slid and kneed her in the face, I was like, oh. Yeah. I was like, oh, shit.
I mean, like, to be fair, a lot of...
She died twice?
To be fair, there are some characters that get their asses beat in their movies. Mm-hmm. Like Spider-Man usually gets his lumps.
The first 3 Spider-Man? Oh.
His totally mask got destroyed in every movie. In the same pattern.
Hilarious.
Spider-Man gets wrecked in all of his movies. Iron Man kind of gets his ass beat a lot in his movies, and then he has to rebuild and beat the shit out of him even harder for messing with him.
That's fair.
But she definitely got roughed up a lot in this movie. Yeah. But Taskmaster was really cool.
I agree, man. As soon as I saw, I was like, okay, because I didn't know. So here's the thing: I heard about the Taskmaster some time ago. I think you told me.
I was gonna say, was it me? Because I might have gone off on some tangent.
I think you did tell me about it, but I mean, it is what it is because I don't know what that is. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Every time I saw a trailer, I thought it was Red Guardian. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, he's kind of big because they even show him because in the one trailer, he's like, it's a really tight suit.
Yeah, they show him in the suit, and he's like, still fits.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, so he's the bad guy. And then when I saw, I was like, oh, this is good. I was like, okay, this is good. I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to figure out who it was.
Same. Because I thought it was her mom.
I did too. Yelena?
Melina. Yeah, for like the first half of the movie, it's like, okay, so that's her mom. And then they met her mom, and I was like, oh, okay, it's not her.
Yeah. And then at one point, they were on the screen together, Taskmaster and Melina, and I was like, oh.
I was like, well, that kind of throws a wrench into that one.
Let me tell you who I didn't think it was.
The presumably dead daughter up to that point?
The one that we heard for about 2 seconds, and then she blew the fuck up.
But once he said something about, like, family... It was like when he said something about like the mask of family or something, but that was when he took her mask off, which we'll get to that. Yeah. That kind of made me think, I was like, mask and family. And then he took her mask off. I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't that. And then he said something about like his daughter. And I was like, okay, well, then that's got to be her. Yeah. But it was still like, right prior to that, I was like, it could be anybody at this point.
At this point, it could be. This thing could go one or two ways. But let me tell you what. I
didn't think it was going to be her. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, Taskmaster was amazing. Honestly, give me a movie of Taskmaster. That's what I say. Like, give me a movie of Taskmaster and Winter Soldier, and just please, just of all the shit that they do. Like, give me a bad guy movie. Where they win at the end. Oh,
so you want a Suicide Squad movie?
But better.
But a good one.
Yeah, there it is.
We might be getting it.
We might, actually. We'll see, because I'm interested.
Yeah.
I wasn't really too fond about the starfish thing, but it seems funny.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that. I forgot to mention that when we were
it's
talking movies earlier.
It's like a campy thing, because apparently that was like in the comics, one of the first things that the Justice League had to be formed to fight.
That's hilarious.
It's called Starro.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah.
I love upgrading my starfish, though. I forget what they're called in Pokemon.
Staryu
to
Starmie.
Starmie. Oh, so good. They were so powerful.
Yeah, pretty good. They psychic abilities. They could learn psychic. Yeah. They could learn electric moves. So you could fight other water types.
Bro, easy.
Yeah.
Well, and then also when I started doing the glitches and you can learn any move.
You just get all the TMs. Yeah. Start throwing them at them. See what sticks. Oh,
absolutely. Because listen, is it water cannon or
hydro pump?
Hydro pump, was that the one Gyarados has?
That's like the big water move.
Yeah. Yep. That'll drain a rock one quick. And there's because don't you got to go back and fight the gym leaders again for some reason?
In one of them you can. In the red and blue, you only get to fight them once, but then you go to the Elite Four. I forget. It's in Gold and Silver. You fight it's in a new region. You fight all the new ones, and then you go back to the red and blue region. Everyone's stronger, and you fight through that whole area, and you get to fight all the old ones again.
Yeah, I never played that.
That's cool.
I think it might have been the Final Four, the 4 people before the last your best friend, whoever the guy is. Yeah, and then one of them had rock type, and I had the missing no, and I had all this shit, and I was like, hydro pump, Geodude down, Onyx gone. Machamp, trash, easy. I mean, they weren't rock type, but they were.
Yeah, but that was the guy, Bruno. He had fighting types, but he had 2 Onyxes for some reason.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Yeah.
My Magikarp is a 500 level Magic.
There you go. Here he comes.
Either way, so back to Pokemon.
Back to Pokemon. I watched Detective Pikachu again the other day at work.
Hey,
Loved it.
So good.
Loved it.
I've only seen it like 3 times. I need to watch it again.
Same. And I was loving it.
Yeah. That was a good show.
It's a good movie.
That was a good movie. I agree. Let's see. Because we went and saw it together, right?
Yes, we did.
And then we watched it for the podcast, right?
Yep. Yes, we did.
It was good times, man. Back in the day.
Yeah, we got like a big group together to go see it, if I remember right.
We did.
It was like you, your son, me,
Yep.
Jaren. I think Josh
was
went.
there.
Cody might have gone.
Yeah, I think Cody was there too.
Yeah.
It was like, we were deep.
We had a posse.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
We had some
anymore.
people.
But yeah, so Taskmaster, your first like, that's the same. I got the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
My first like, the flashback sequence, the very first like beginning of the movie, I was intrigued. And
Yeah.
I liked it. I was like, okay, this is interesting. And when I saw, I didn't know who the Red Guardian was. When I saw him flip the fucking cart over, and it was a big ass cart that was blocking the plane, I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I didn't know he was gonna be comedic fodder, but and don't get me wrong, I loved it.
And don't get me wrong, he was.
He was. But I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, this guy is pretty legit. And then I was thinking in my head, I'm like, wait, if that's her dad, why didn't she have powers? And I was like, that's what, because I was just thinking powers, not
Right.
Captain America. I wasn't thinking, what was it called? What did he say it was?
Super Soldier Serum.
Yeah, Super Soldiers. I wasn't thinking that for some reason. I was like, I don't know, I was thinking more X-Men, but I wasn't thinking X-Men. I was thinking like X-Men. I was like, well, he's powerful, then his daughter better be powerful. Why isn't Black Widow that powerful?
At the end of this movie, she discovers she has laser eyes.
Hilarious.
And then she doesn't use them
Let's
again.
do it. Yeah, never use them again. She flies and shit. Loved it. But yeah, the flashback scene was good, man. I was excited about it. I don't know why. I really loved it.
Mm-hmm.
The young Natasha, she was pretty legit.
And also, they were in Ohio.
And they were in Ohio. So are we, by the way, guys.
The first thing I wrote down, Taskmaster was not the first thing I wrote, but Taskmaster is the first one that I will say because it was incredible. The first thing I wrote down was Ohio equals ranch dressing.
Literally.
Because when they were getting the dinner,
Yes.
they like get the ranch dressing out for your father, and it's like, God
Yes.
damn it,
Yep. Same.
you sons of bitches. It's accurate though, because people in Ohio love ranch dressing for some reason.
Fair.
I don't hate it, but I have to be in the mood.
Haven't been in the mood in years.
Same, also, yeah.
That's what she said.
Like if like it's not going to be
Don't
if
care.
I order something from a restaurant and it comes with ranch, I'm like, no. If I want it, I'll get it. But I'm not. I don't go to a restaurant and order something like, can I get ranch on that?
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Even if I ordered a salad and it had ranch, A, I wouldn't order it. B, if I'm ordering a salad, I'm getting Caesar or blue cheese.
Yeah, I was gonna say blue cheese. Are we on the same team with blue cheese? Blue cheese. I love blue cheese.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
love me some blue cheese.
Yes,
blue cheese
is
and
delicious.
wings.
I like blue cheese. I like Caesar also. Yes.
Caesar's delicious.
Yes.
Didn't know until I worked in a restaurant. I didn't know it had anchovies in it. I didn't know I liked it until I worked in a restaurant. To be fair, so good. I actually had to make it, and I was like, it was like anchovies. Literally, it was like anchovies, black pepper, mayonnaise, and something else. And I was like,
I think doesn't it have like egg yolks in it? Also,
not
in some
all
instances.
Caesars. Yeah, the restaurant I worked at didn't. We didn't do egg yolks. We could, but it was we didn't want to risk it because people, and I get that because like our thing was we didn't want to do it because of pregnant people.
Yeah.
So we were just like, let's just not do it. So they started making it without it. And I mean, it was good either way. But when I remember, because I didn't hear about the egg yolk thing until years after I worked there. And I was like, why would anyone do that? And they're like, yeah, a lot of them do. And I was like, first, listen, I just found out about the anchovies, okay? Let me deal with that for a couple years.
One blow at a time.
Yeah, like, let me do that and then go somewhere else. But fair. That's fair. Ohio.
Yeah, the Midwest. If you're in the Midwest, you love ranch, apparently.
Fair. And like somebody said at the end, I'm allergic to the Midwest.
Yeah.
Facts.
Somebody. Yeah.
But next like on you.
Next like for me is a real quick one because I saw it during the like one of the training montages that I think we're playing during the opening credits. the kids were watching TVs.
Yeah,
they had like children. Yeah, because they were watching fucking DuckTales. Because I recognized it from the opening credits where they're underwater and a shark swims up like it's going to do something, and Webby's got her little fucking diving helmet on and she gives it a smooch on the nose.
Hilarious.
And it decides not to eat everybody.
That's hilarious.
And it was like a split second. I was like, what is that? DuckTales. Got it.
I know what that is.
Nailed it. Yeah, I was like, that's my childhood right there.
I get that reference.
Yeah, I liked it. I was like, DuckTales. Great.
That's what's up.
Also, Disney owns it, so why not throw it in there?
I mean, you might as well. You might as well.
Yeah, and it was like the 80s to 90s, like when the movie was set and like the stuff they were showing. Yeah. So yeah, why wouldn't kids?
Makes a lot of sense.
If you're trying to fit into America, why not watch wholesome Disney programming? Because you don't know it's evil yet.
Facts. Amen. That's fair. Let's see. My next and I was gonna say I didn't like anything Black Widow. Like I didn't write any likes for her, but I did. Natasha as an assassin. I don't know why I wrote that, but I liked it. Like her as an assassin, because they show her doing assassin stuff, and I was like, I kind of like this version of Natasha.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I don't remember exactly what scene I wrote that in, but I did.
I don't dislike her character.
I do.
Or the actress to an extent, but she's definitely the least interesting to me.
Fair.
Along like her and Hawkeye.
Yes.
Because again,
not Ronan.
They're the ones.
Ronan's interesting as hell. The most interesting man in the world.
They're the ones who have like the unfortunate distinction of being the ones without powers.
Yeah.
And
not unfortunate. I'm not too.
Yeah,
I'm not as lame as Hawkeye.
We don't have powers. We don't have powers either. But there's nobody, as far as we know, running around turning into a big fucking green monster in our world. There are no gods of thunder, no handsome thunder gods coming around.
Fair.
So, or any neighborhood Spider-Men. So we're right where we need to be. These two are behind the curve.
Fair. I agree.
In my opinion.
I agree.
So, I mean, and it's nothing against them. They can't help it.
I would say, even though I watched this guy on TikTok and someone's like, oh yeah, Hawkeye couldn't do something. He was like, you don't know anything about Hawkeye in the comic books then. And I'm like, I will admit that I don't read the comic books, so I understand that he is important in the Avengers and how great he is in the comics.
Yeah, he's a real big deal.
Yeah, I know.
In the movies,
I'm like, eh. And same with Black Widow. Like, I understand that she's a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Fair.
So,
like, I think her first appearance is probably like my favorite when she first showed up in Iron Man 2. And
she was kicking ass
and fucking choked out Jon Favreau. I was
hilarious.
Like, I like this.
Yeah,
I like her. She's going.
So good.
This young unknown actress is going places.
Literally, it seemed like it. Like when she showed up, it was like, who is this?
Yeah.
But I knew she was just because I've seen her in a couple movies.
Yeah, I think I had seen her in like one thing before that, and I was like, I like this.
She was in a movie with Captain America, and I think they were dating.
Wasn't she on? Is her and Obi-Wan on the island? Or is it a different actress? Because that might have been one. Because I think that might have been what I knew her from.
That's a great movie. Haven't seen that in years.
Same. I haven't seen that in a long time.
That was a good movie.
Was it her? I think it was.
I don't know anymore. So let's say yes. So that we're both right.
There we go. I like that.
Same.
I like when we're both right.
Boom.
When we're right, we're right.
Same.
And on our show, we're always right.
Always right. And on Facebook, I'm always fucking right. Stop arguing with me, people.
You lose that fight 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10, you lose that fight.
9 times out of 10.
I'll leave my natural habitat to come out there and eat you.
Let's see. My next, I didn't know her name. Yelena. I know her name now. But I wrote, Sister Hilarious. She was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
She had me dying. Yeah. Every word she said, I was like, this girl is great.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know who this unknown actress is, but I am in love. I was like, she can do no wrong to me.
Yeah.
She can kill Natasha for all I care. I'm like, okay, cool.
I mean, she might be taking her place from the looks of things.
Right. So I was like, I like her, and she can kick ass.
Yeah.
But I loved her. She was so good.
Yeah.
To me, she stole the show.
I'd agree with that.
She was great.
I gave her a like as for herself, and I also gave her a like for Poser.
Hilarious.
Such a poser.
Hilarious. When she was in the store doing the
Hawkeye pose, doing the Black Widow pose, and just like whipping her head.
She was like, "So when you do this thing, why do you flip? Why do you do this?" And she just kept moving
the hair and the arm. And you do this like everyone's watching you.
Like everybody's watching. No one's watching. Why do you do this? He's like, you're like a poser, and I was like, hilarious.
And then she does it. Black Widow does it in front of her, and she's like, total poser.
Total poser.
And then she does it herself at the end of the movie, and she like drops out of a vent and does like the 3-point landing, and is like, oh, I feel dirty.
She literally got up and was like, like literally the girliest thing anyone could ever do in a movie. She did it. Like, she was just like, oh. I was like, hilarious.
Yeah, it was great.
She was hilarious. When she was talking about, first off, Red Guardian, he came into the plane after they rescued him from jail, and he goes, why all the aggression? Are you, is it their time of the month? She was like, I don't have periods because I don't have a uterus. You know what a uterus is, right? It's like they go in there and they take everything out. They went in there and they just snatched everything out. The uterus, the eggs. He was like, stop being gross. I was just about to talk about fallopian tubes. She was hilarious. I loved her. I was like, give me more of her.
Honestly, yeah, and we're getting it.
And I'm good. I'm good.
Yes.
Less Natasha, which is
what is exactly what we've got.
Yes.
Because she is dead.
She is dead.
And if I may go into it now,
please do.
Okay. The post-credit scene,
yes,
I'm going to give that a like also.
It was good.
Piggybacking off of the Yelena Belova Yelena Belova likes. She looks to be being set up as the main protagonist and main antagonist of the Hawkeye series that is coming up.
Yes.
She visits Natasha's gravestone, which we've never seen before.
That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, which for me made it a lot more real.
Yeah, well,
because there was like a lot of tributes left.
Good. Good and terrible.
Well, because we got like Tony's funeral scene and everyone was sad, and a lot of people were like, "Okay, well, where's her? She didn't get one." And now, like, we see that she had a gravestone. She made her choice.
Daughter, sister, Avenger, peanut butter sandwich like her.
Peanut butter sandwich like her. Throw her.
Crier.
There's like all these tributes for her, gifts and things, and she went to Yelena went to her gravesite and did their little whistle. And honestly, I was waiting for the callback whistle.
I was too.
And I was gonna be like, it's gonna be like, and then it's gonna end up, and I was gonna be like, what the fuck? Didn't do that, which subverted my expectations. Something completely I was not expecting.
Chris, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I know I sat up and out the corner of my eye, I was like, oh, Chris is up in his seat.
Yeah.
I feel
we
like
both were.
We were like the only two that were like,
yeah.
We watched Captain America.
I was like, if anybody else in this theater saw us, started like, what's up with these losers?
Yeah. I was like, if the lights were on, we were the only two that were like perched up.
Like we were sitting on the edge of our seats, like we're like, okay, something's coming.
I was like, well, because I sat up when I saw Oh Girl. Well,
there it is.
Yeah,
I can't think of her character's name, but Julie Louis-Dreyfus. Yes, Valentina. Julie Louis-Dreyfus's character from Falcon and the Winter Soldier / Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Factuals.
The U.S. agent's agent.
Yes,
is now thrown in with Yelena Belova. Damn, I keep messing it up. Saying that we know that your sister passed. This is the person believed responsible. Pulls out her tablet, shows her a picture of Clint fucking Barton. So it seems like she's being set up to be the antagonist of the Hawkeye series, is my guess. Unless there's a Hawkeye movie coming out that no one has ever spoken about. No. Which we'll see.
It's just a series.
And to throw in with you, give me a Ronin movie.
Ooh.
And I'll watch it. Give me a Hawkeye movie.
There's a movie called Ronin. It has nothing to do with superheroes. I think it does have something to do with swords, though.
Yeah, it's like samurai movie, wouldn't it be?
I don't know. I've never seen it. But, yes.
Yeah, because a Ronin is a term for a samurai without a master.
Yeah.
So he was like a man with no, like, he was just doing his own thing when he was out there just killing Yakuzas.
Good. Okay. Somebody told me they didn't like that. I was like, why not? He was hurt.
It's not to like.
They killed his family.
Hurt people.
Like we talked about. I do the same thing.
Yeah. If a purple spaceman kills my family and I don't know it,
same.
I'm just gonna sit down and eat a hot dog. No.
Facts. With mayonnaise on it? No way.
What?
No way, Jose. Mm-mm. Cut it out. No,
That's right, Uncle Joey.
That mid-credit scene, and I knew it was coming. It was an end-credit scene, actually.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, here we go. Because what happened at the end? Oh, that's when she got the Quinjet.
Yeah,
okay.
She got the jet. She's like, I'm going to go bust my friends out of jail.
Yeah.
Because that was leading into, like,
Infinity
War. Yeah, because her and Cap show up for the first time since everything.
Since
her and Cap and Falcon show up to save Vision.
Yes.
From, what's his name? Corvus, I think. Corvus Glaive, I think is the guy's name. The guy with the spear.
Yep.
Him and Proxima Midnight show up.
You are correct.
Yes.
But, yeah, I did not expect that, and I liked it. I liked it as well.
I enjoyed it.
I didn't write it down, but I liked it.
And that's a big reason that I wanted to see this movie in the theater, was to see the post-credit scene.
Oh, okay.
I said something to Kimmy today. I was like, me and Keith are going to see Black Widow tonight. And she's like, oh, you excited? I was like, I'm excited for that credit scene.
Hilarious.
And then, honestly, the rest of the movie, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, me too.
He said begrudgingly.
It's well known in the podcast universe. I do not like Black Widow. I just think she's whatever. And I really didn't want to see this movie, but for the sake of
twisted his arm,
for the sake of the fans,
for the craft.
I was like, all right, that's fine. It's a Marvel movie. I get it.
Yeah, that too.
I was like,
they haven't let me down yet.
They haven't, honestly.
Like in a very real sense. Like they haven't. Yeah. I haven't watched a movie that's like I could have done without seeing that. Because even the first Thor movie.
Let me tell you who I'm about to disown. My own son. Because he went with us.
Yeah.
I was like, what'd you think? He's like, it was really good. He's like, it's my favorite movie. I was like, really? One watch
that I've seen today.
Favorite movie. I was like, oh, that's crazy. I was like top 5 of all time. He was like, no. It's my favorite Marvel movie of all time. I was like, well, okay, now.
Have you seen the rest?
I was like, I wouldn't go that far. He was like, yeah, it is. I was like, well, it's not better than Winter Soldier. He's like, I didn't like Winter Soldier. I was like, sir, get out of my car. Get out. Who? Why are you the way that you are?
Didn't stop the car.
I was like, sir, you're telling me it's better than Winter Soldier, Endgame, Infinity War? He's like, Endgame's number 2. I was like, sir, you just... I was like, he's so just... He does it on purpose. I was going to say, believe
he's doing it to get your...
He has to. Up. He doesn't even know he's doing it, and he does it on purpose. I was just like, But yeah, he was like, I didn't like Winter Soldier. I was like, how did you? I was like, Bucky? I was like, when Bucky came back? He was like, yeah, but that's just like Taskmaster. I was like, we didn't even know who Antonio was.
Dude.
Until 5 minutes with the movie left.
When Natasha, I forgot to say it, when Natasha was driving her truck and she pulled up to that little like dimly lit intersection, I was like, is she about to get Winter Soldiered? And that fucking rocket came out of nowhere and flipped her truck over. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. As soon as I was like, this looks like a scene... This looks like when Tony's parents die.
Hilarious.
Like something's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and
Taskmaster.
And it did.
She pulled out that bow and arrow. I was like, what?
Yep.
And it blew out. I was like, what? Yep. Or no, was that the same? Yeah. No, that was a different scene.
That was in the city when they were both in the car.
Even
still, yeah.
It was so good.
Yes.
But yeah. So I guess it's on me, right?
Yes.
Red Guardian.
Yes.
He also was hilarious.
Yeah.
Him telling the story about fighting Captain America in the 80s and the biggest dude, and he's arm wrestling people because he's super strong. He's a super soldier.
Man.
He's killing people. He's just, and then some little guy, he's wrestling him. He's arm wrestling him, and he's like, I don't. This guy thought he was gonna win.
He's like getting a tattoo on his back of himself.
I was like, this guy. Oh, was it of himself?
I think it was like of himself in his suit.
Is it weird? Because I thought it was Taskmaster at first, like because of the head and everything. I was like, why is he getting?
I think it was supposed to be of himself in his suit.
So yeah, he's just like whatever. So the biggest dude in the jail, because he's not even that big. Like he's big. Don't get me wrong.
Who? Red Guardian or the big guy?
Red Guardian.
Yeah.
But the guy
David Harbour's. I want to say he's like 6 something.
Oh, he's
like
huge.
A big dude.
He's a big guy. He's like a tall guy for sure. But I was like, okay, so the big dude sits down, he's arm wrestling, and he's like, what year was this? He's like, 83 or something. He's like, Captain America wasn't even on the ice, and he gets closer to me, like, you calling me a liar?
breaks
He
his fucking
breaks
wrist.
his fucking wrist.
He slammed it so hard. He's like, oh! And looks down and his arm was just like limp. And I was like, that is fucking hilarious.
I was like, this guy. And then, like I said, when he was talking about the whole reproductive system, hilarious. When he was talking to, he was talking about the wife, and he goes, his fake wife, Melina, and he's like, oh, Melina? He's like, oh, that's Sly Fox or something, he says.
Like,
and they're like,
you
oh.
can never catch that Sly Fox. And then it's like, hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Ew.
And then when they're all sitting eating dinner, he goes, he's like, hey, I'm fresh out of jail, and I have a lot of energy.
Daddy Horny Michael.
I was like, oh my God, this guy is
He said
amazing.
some wonderful things.
He's so funny.
He was pretty. I liked him.
I did too.
He was a like for me. Was Red
Yes.
Guardian. He was fucking hilarious. He was honestly one of the main reasons I really, really wanted to see this movie.
Really?
It was because I like David Harbour, and like I know he can be funny and he can be serious because I like him in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me want to watch the Hellboy movie and see him, just because I'm not like a guy who ever read a Hellboy comic, so I know a lot of people didn't like this new one for whatever reason. I saw the Ron Perlman ones. I thought it was all right. I could see it. I'd watch it, and we'll see. Well, who knows what'll happen?
Never seen it.
But I know I
didn't
like the
care.
actor, so I'd give it a shot.
That's fair.
I liked him a lot in this. He was very funny. If we get
So
more of him
good.
in the future,
Yeah.
I'd be all right with that.
Me too.
Like if he shows up in that Hawkeye series, like if he teams up with Elena to beat the shit out of Clint, I'd be all right with that.
I would be too.
But Clint's probably gonna have some help too. Maybe we'll see. He's gonna need it. So
he's definitely gonna need it.
if he comes up against him, he's gonna need it.
Yeah, against Red Guardian. I don't know. Taskmaster was kicking his ass,
was doing it.
and she was
Taskmaster
not
was kicking
powerful.
everybody's ass.
Yeah, she was. Oh, she was fucking taking it to everybody. I loved it.
When he the arm wrestling scene was great. When shit, what am I thinking of? I completely just blanked.
Damn.
About the Red Guardian.
Red Guardian. When he was escaping jail.
That was great.
That was a good one.
I
too.
like that when they mailed him his action figure
Hilarious.
of himself, like that, and some cookies or something apparently.
Yeah. And he hums it.
Yeah.
He hums it before he presses
He's like,
his action.
and he hits his little button like, da-da, and then he pulls the string and it says his little catchphrase apparently, and then the head came off and had like an earpiece.
Hilarious.
I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, don't make a scene. Takes off running. It's like, you made a scene, didn't you?
Right.
And he like jams that riot shield into the door so it like won't open behind him. So people, oh, that was cool. The prison escape scene honestly was nice.
Yeah, it really was. It was a good scene.
Because what did they do that set off the avalanche? The grenade launcher.
Oh yeah, she shot.
She's in the
grenade.
helicopter. She's in the helicopter, and those dudes are just like shooting up the helicopter. She's like, all right, fuck this, and gets out and has like a little like rocket grenade launcher.
Hilarious.
Shoots the tower, and then it echoes.
She was like, and then she does something, or they're shooting at her, so she flies lower.
Yeah,
And she was like, Natasha's like, what are you doing? It's like, we're both doing good jobs. We're both doing good jobs.
She's like yelling at her on the bridge. She's like, what are you doing?
And she's just
You
calmly
idiot.
like, we're both doing a great
I
job.
think we're both doing
We're
fine.
both doing She was so funny.
She stole the movie. Honestly.
Absolutely. She was the best part about this movie to me.
Yeah.
Her and Taskmaster.
Yes,
For sure.
Red Guardian, I thought was very good. Who's up for likes next? Is it me or you?
You are next, and I'm all out.
Okay. I have one more. We talked about it last time. I don't know if we talked about it on the recording last time or if it was just us, doing a little of this, a little of that.
Yeah.
Just jibber jabbering. Chekhov's gun. The masks. Widow used it in, I believe it was I keep wanting to say Civil War, in Winter Soldier. The like digital face mask where like she took it off and it was like someone's face came off. You saw them in the background when they went to Melina's house the first time. She opened up the back room where she had all her weapons and shit. You could see those blue glowing masks on the faces on the wall behind her.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yes, I definitely saw them. And then when they did their infiltration thing and everyone looks like they get captured and it seems like the plan's fucking ruined, dude like pokes her in the eye and takes her mask off, and it's he thinks he has Natasha, or no, he thinks he has Melina and takes her mask off and it's Natasha. And then they did the little flashback thing. I was like, I like that. Because, again, I don't know if we talked about it on the recording or if it was just us talking. I was like, I like this device, even though I couldn't name any of it. I was like, I can't name an example of it. And then you read me a bunch. It's like, oh, yeah, I love that one. Love that one, too. And you're like, sounds like you know them. And I'm like, well, okay.
I didn't say that.
I think you did. But, yeah, it was like that. Where, like, I saw those masks. Like, ooh, I remember that because I thought they were just doing a callback to Winter Soldier. And then they just straight up did it again in this movie. I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
I like when you show me something and then you use that something later on without explicitly saying, we're going to use those face masks.
Right.
Let's do it.
Facts.
I liked it.
I loved it too. It was a great. So while you were doing that, we were talking about Yelena. I was like, what else is she in that I can watch? And of course, I'm an idiot. I spoil something for me. But she was in Midsummer.
That's your. I forgot to say
no
that
clue.
one.
I did not know that. I was like, that's the reason I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. Like, yes, that was her Midsummer.
Good for her.
Same. But yeah, so yeah. So
yeah, that was an interesting movie. Parts of me are still processing that movie, I think.
Oh yeah. I don't want to watch it again. I'm good.
I don't think I would like to. But when you told me about the part about the guy getting his head caved in with the hammers,
hilarious.
I was like, I'd watch that part.
Yeah.
And then just started happening out of nowhere. There was like all standing around the cliff and the people started jumping off.
It was just those two, the old people.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, is this the part?
And then he didn't die.
Yeah. And like their legs go out and they're just like screaming. And then the crowd started screaming. And then the people walked up with the mallets, and I just started like flinching and wincing. And Megan's like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I know what's about to happen." She's like, "What's about to happen?" I'm like, "Just watch it, because I'm gonna watch it."
I know what I gotta do, but I'm not strong. I don't think I'm strong enough to do it.
The strength to do it.
Yeah. So.
I do like that part though. It's fucked up, but I like it.
So I was gonna say the after credit scene. Definitely is setting up what we think we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was like, okay.
I mean, we already put it together.
We did, but also I was like,
because we both know there's no Hawkeye movie coming out.
No, I knew there was no movie, but I was like, because even my son was like, oh, is this for the Hawkeye movie? I was like, he's not getting a movie. She lucky she got a fucking movie, but either way,
she got a movie so they could set up a show.
Perfect, even better. But I'm happy that it sucks that they had to wait, but I'm happy that they had to wait because now I'm more excited. Because like if this would have came out a year ago, Hawkeye still wasn't coming out till almost the end of this year.
Yeah, nothing was coming out until the end. Until the end of last year when WandaVision started coming out.
Right.
So like we would have had to waited. They're like, okay, here's a little movie.
Yeah.
And then nothing, and then here's a couple series. And then nothing.
Yeah, because we were getting we got WandaVision first, then we got Captain America: Winter Soldier, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Like with what, like a 2-week break in between, or a week break in between the ending of one and beginning of the other?
It was a couple weeks.
Was it a couple weeks?
Yeah, it was a couple weeks for those two, and then it was a couple more weeks for Loki.
I think it was about a month for Loki. I think.
Yeah, well,
but yeah, at least a couple weeks.
Yeah, so it was like, but then if this would have came out last year, I would have forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I would not have been happy about that. So I'm happy that they had to wait. I know they didn't want to wait. I didn't know that it was actually selling on Disney Plus Premiere, though.
Also, we wouldn't have known who, we would not have seen Julie Louis-Dreyfus' character yet.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder if that scene was already planned.
Or if they changed it.
Yeah, or if they were like, okay.
Changed it.
I mean, if they did, good for them, because
what else would they do?
I watched the changed end scene of WandaVision. It didn't change anything.
Oh, did you go back and watch it?
Yes,
what was it?
I watched a side by side of it on someone's YouTube channel. They're going to break it down. It was like a 20-minute video. I only had to watch like 30 seconds of it for them to do the side by side thing.
I hate that.
It was the scene did not change. Mm-hmm. They added a little like reflection, like clear distortion off to the side, small, out of focus, that if you zoomed in on it, you could see was like the shape of Doctor Strange wearing a person wearing a cloak floating down. And it's supposed to have been that this scene was from like his perspective. It was the same scene, but like, you know, where like the camera goes into the house and like goes past her on the porch and goes into the house, and she like pours the tea and it goes further in and she's in reading the Darkhold. It's supposed to have been like from his perspective, which honestly doesn't change anything.
No.
When the person had to zoom in, so it was all blurry and pixelated and shit to see like that's what we're looking for, and it's like that's
dumb.
That's literally nothing to me.
You wasted your time.
They didn't. I mean, and
that's why I didn't go back.
They didn't. Yeah, I was like, they didn't have to do that. It didn't change anything. We already assumed that it was setting up the Multiverse of Madness thing because you hear her children scream while she's, or like call for her while she's reading from the book, and they are gone.
Yeah,
they technically never existed.
Technically.
Except for like her creating them with magic, or like conjuring them with magic.
Yeah.
So like, I pretty much already assumed like, oh, that's gonna show up maybe in the multiverse movie.
Well, I mean, she's doing magic, so there's only one other person who does magic.
Yeah.
Besides Cho.
Yeah.
So
because besides close-up magician Jim and Ant-Man, street magic Ant-Man. Yeah. So they didn't need to change it, but yeah, if I wonder if they had another scene. Or if they even had one at all. But this scene was great.
I never went back because I was like, I don't care.
I forget. I was watching... I think I had just watched Loki, or I just watched something. And I think Jake Norton texted me something about, like, something about Doctor Strange. Or, like, something about the upcoming movie. And I was like, I should watch that scene and see if they actually changed it. Because I think he said something. He's like, did you watch the... He's talking about the end of WandaVision. I was like, did you see the change scene? He's like, yeah. He's like, no, I didn't. Did they actually change it? I was like, no, they didn't fucking change anything. It was dumb. And he's like, oh, well, that's really lame.
Same.
Yeah, we were both a little disappointed.
We should be. That's why I didn't go look. Cause
I wasn't disappointed with the scene itself. I was disappointed.
No, fair.
I was disappointed by the claims that their changing of the scene changed anything.
Yeah, same.
It didn't.
That's fair. So, I get that.
Yeah.
But I am out of likes.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Those are my likes.
Let's go into dislikes.
Okay.
How many you got?
I only wrote one.
Ooh. But you got more?
I don't know.
I got one and that's it.
Okay.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
I forgot what it was. Oh, I know what it was. I wrote... Great. I don't know if these people are Russian or not. I know some people are. Great accents.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the fuck they were saying half the movie. I really don't. Like, there was a lot of times where they said stuff, and I'm like, wow, okay, well, I lost that.
Because of what else? Because of whatever else was happening around the movie, or just because it was kind of quiet sometimes?
Because of the accents. It was also kind of quiet, too, but when they full-on got into their accents, it was super quiet. And the movie was quiet, and everything around them was quiet. Because they said something... That's why I didn't know Yelena's name, because they said her name, and it was super quiet every time, and I'm like... louder, please. Like, I'm in the back. Like, I don't know. But then, like, and I understand I'm a dumb American, so it could just be the Russian accent, because every time they spoke in Russian, they put the subtitles on the screen. So I was cool with that. But when they spoke with the Russian accent, like a deep, heavy accent, especially when Red Guardian and Yelena spoke, I was like, I don't know. So there was a couple things I know I probably missed, and I don't know what it was. I was just like, I'm lost.
That's fair. I could probably watch this movie again when they put it on Disney Plus without the premiere access. Yeah. And I'll definitely be watching it with captioning.
Oh, absolutely. Because they said a lot of things. Yeah. And I was just like, missed that.
Yeah.
I miss a couple things.
Because the Marvel shows I'm noticing also are pretty good about like real quick dialogue. Yeah. And if I don't have the captioning on, sometimes I miss stuff. Because like I had to, during at least the last couple episodes of Loki, I like had to rewind it. I was like, hang on, I got to rewind it and I got to put the captioning on because I missed something.
That is fair.
And I feel like this movie, I would also probably do the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. So that's my only real dislike. Again, surprisingly, this isn't a dislike, but here's something that I know people will dislike. There's a lot of talking in this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it unless they were speaking too low. I think that was an issue. But other than that, they were talking about stuff that mattered, or at least what was happening in the Red Room or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was meaningful dialogue. But I remember we were coming out the movie theater and some guy was like, oh, I just hate when they talk about feelings. I get bored. And I was like, that's hilarious.
I think I heard that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, that's hilarious. He's like, I know I shouldn't, but I just was, and I was like, damn. Same, but damn. So that's my only dislike. And like I said, it was just, I know people are going to say that because that's what people complain about. So I get it, but that's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
What do you got?
The one I wrote down, he was a like. Red Guardian was a like. Okay. I also wrote him down as a dislike at the time, and I'll stick with it just because they made. I mean, and we got that cool ass. We got his cool intro scene, his cool prison break scene, and then he didn't get to do a ton except get his ass kicked by Taskmaster.
Facts.
Because the only thing he really did was lead them to Melina.
Yeah.
Which, as soon as I wrote it down, I thought about this, like, oh, like, so I guess he is important. But, like, I feel like they spent a lot more time, like, breaking him out and, like, dealing with him to then, like, oh, like, and he'll lead us to Melina, and then they're like, oh, hey, Mom. And they immediately, like, the next part of the plan happens.
Yeah.
I thought they spent a lot of time with him, which and I sound stupid for disliking it, as I liked him and I liked his character and I liked the actor. I felt like for as much time as they spent introing and spending with him, he didn't get to do a ton.
That's fair.
Like if in Cat, and I know it wasn't his movie. It wasn't Yelena's movie either, but she kind of stole the show.
Fair.
So
she did.
I feel like if he had gotten to do more, he might have also stolen the show more. But it was a dislike for me because I wanted more.
That's fair.
And if I don't get what I want, doesn't mean I'm going to dislike it. And it didn't mean I hate the movie because I did not hate this movie.
No.
I just would have liked to have seen more.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
What else you got?
That's kind of it. And I don't want to say it's a dislike that there's no stakes for Natasha because we know how she dies, and this was not it. Mm-hmm. But there were stakes. There were, like, every other character in this movie that they introed could have died.
You know, I thought they were all gonna die.
Same, honest. At a certain point, I was like, "Ooh, Yelena could die," because they spent a lot of time like introducing her and dealing with her, and like her and Natasha maybe not getting along, but maybe also kind of getting along. I was like, she might die.
There was a couple scenes where, especially when Red Guardian was in the room singing with Yelena.
Oh, I thought he was going to get shot.
Oh, I thought he was going to get shot.
When he was like, this would be the day that I thought he was going to get his fucking head blown
Somebody
off.
else in the back of us said it. It's like, oh shit, he's about to die. I was like, yes, he is.
When those lights came on, I thought that light was going to be a fucking muzzle flash and he was going to be a dead man.
I did too, and I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was super surprised. And then at the end when she sabotaged the plane to kill Dracoff,
I thought she was just gonna die.
I was like, oh, she's dead.
Yeah. Well, she was like, Yelena, no. And she says, Yelena, yes.
Did she say that?
No, but like in her head, she's like, yes. And she jams the thing in the engine.
I was like, her accent, I could tell.
And it just blows up in her face. I was like, oh, she's dead.
She's dead. Because she kept talking about how fun it would be to die a certain way.
Yeah. The whole movie, she's like, that would be this would be a really cool way to die.
And then she goes, it's been fun, and this is gonna be fun, or something she says, and then she sticks that blade through the rotors, and I was like, she did.
Yeah, I thought she was dead.
I did too. I was like, okay, that makes sense, because we didn't hear about him again, but she ain't dead.
Nope.
She's
coming
just back
undercover. Yep. I'm all right with that.
Same, me too, because I'd have been sad if she had died.
Yeah, so like
I wouldn't have been sad if somebody else died.
Yeah. I can't give it a dislike saying that there's no stakes because there were. It just wasn't for her. It just wasn't for Natasha. It was for her family that they spent time introducing.
Yeah.
And they got to make it through. So I also
when I think about this movie, I don't think let me tell you what I don't like the whole stakes argument. Mm-hmm. Because that's everyone's go-to, especially with Marvel. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, we know we're going to a different phase, so this doesn't mean anything. It means something. Yeah. It always, because a lot of people didn't like Endgame because they were like, well, we know there's another phase. There's Spider-Man. There's all the other. So this didn't really matter. Then now with Loki and WandaVision, a lot of people just like on the Twitters and stuff, they're like, there's no stakes of Endgame anymore because it's all changed now.
Well, there doesn't have to be now.
No, well, yeah, but they're saying like it undoes. That's everyone's like go to like YouTube title now. Like Loki has undone everything on Endgame, and I'm like,
Has it though?
But it didn't. Like that's why I don't like the stakes argument, because like we're in the time from, that's like, to me personally, watching a movie like this, especially when it's set in a time and we know what happens to the character after, it's like watching a war movie.
Yeah.
Why watch it if you already know America's going to win or lose depending on which war it is?
Yeah.
But you still watch it and you still feel, I don't know, I just don't like the stakes argument, because at the same time it's like, well, we know they already win World War II, so why watch Saving Private Ryan?
That's why I didn't want to be like, oh, it's a dislike because of the stakes thing, but because I still like the movie.
Right.
Just because I know she's not going to die.
Yet.
That's like saying, well, in this movie.
Same.
It's like me saying, oh, there's no stakes to any movie, any superhero movie, because, you just know they're going to win.
Right.
So what? You can't go and watch a movie to see a character you like win?
Same.
You want to go in there and see them die?
Same.
You want to go in there and see them lose? Maybe you do.
And then when they die, guess what? They get upset.
There you go.
And so that's my thing too. That's another thing. Just thinking about what you just said. When you find out there's a sequel, then there's no stakes for the first one.
Right. Yeah. Like, do you be like, oh, well, just because they made, does that undo the first one?
Yeah. And that's dumb to think.
Right.
So no, we're good. There's stakes of this movie. That's why I've been seeing that a lot. So it's funny you said that, because I've been seeing that a lot online about stakes, and I'm like, is that a thing? Because with Infinity War, a lot of people are like, what's the point of? So I'm not sad at Infinity War. And I'm like, why not? It's like, no, because they're all coming back. I'm like, okay.
That was me. I wasn't sad.
Fair.
But even if I didn't know that the characters were coming back, I still wasn't the person in the theater crying when Spider-Man died.
That's fair.
I definitely didn't.
I definitely did.
I got sad when Tony died. I didn't cry, but I got sad when Tony died. I got sadder.
Still same.
I got sadder when I saw his daughter's reaction, or like everyone else's reaction to him being dead.
Fair.
Because Tony was like, "Oh yeah, I'm dead. I'll die. I have to." Everyone else like, "Oh man, you fucking had to."
But like, to me, I can't. If I'm watching a movie, I can't be like. To me, okay, this is just again my opinion. If I'm watching Infinity War, and if I don't get sad, to me it's almost like, oh yeah, I'm not worried about any of that because there's another movie and I know it. Yeah, but that's like saying there's no stakes, because that's what a lot of people said about Infinity War.
Yeah.
We know there's a second part, so we're not upset about it, or we're it didn't matter. So then, do you not want to see Infinity War?
I definitely did.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying.
I've seen it several times since then.
Exactly. So it's like, but when people say there's no stakes, or I know everybody's coming back, it's almost like, then you think that they shouldn't have made it, because that's what they're saying. Essentially, They're like, well, this shouldn't even have been a thing, and you could have just made the one movie Endgame and put it all into the same.
Make like a 6-hour movie.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't. Every movie has its own stakes. Even we were watching The Matrix Reloaded. That had a ton of stakes in it, even though there was a sequel. Yeah. Even though that there was a Matrix Revolutions.
Yeah, because I was worried that Morpheus might have died.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many different things.
Yeah. Like, just because the main character doesn't die in the movie doesn't mean nothing could happen.
And and just because, and that's the thing, like, okay, at the end of Matrix Reloaded, I know you've never seen Revolutions, but at the end of Matrix Reloaded, what's the name was in a coma. Yeah. Well, that means that there's stakes, because so these people getting snapped, they're dead essentially.
Yeah, like they were gone. And even though I knew I assumed they were coming back, it didn't happen the way that I was like, okay, well, how's it going to happen?
And that's fair.
That's where my mind went. My mind wasn't like, oh man, they're gone. I can't believe they're gone. And my mind went to, ooh, how are they going to bring them back? That's going to be good. To me, that's what I wanted to see. I was like, this is going to be cool how they somehow bring them back, if they even bring back everybody.
Out of spite, this is just me, because this is the kind of guy I am. I really wish they would have waited actual 5 years to release Endgame. That would have been tough. I would have laughed at everybody.
We still wouldn't even have it.
No. And I would have laughed at everybody, because that's what I'm saying about the not stakes. Like, why? Like, that was, okay, we saw it in movie time, but that was still 5 years of nothing. No superheroes. No one did any superheroing.
At least some of them.
Like, if and again, obviously it's not a smart business move or whatever, but just out of spite, not release it.
But you know.
Oh, there's no
if
stakes?
They waited
2023.
If they had waited...
Fuck you.
2023, 4 more years, still... Or no, 2 more years. Sorry, I can't numbers. You know those ticket sales would be redonkulous.
Astronomical.
And the angry people on the internet would be even more crazy. Like, time travel? Are you fucking kidding me? This is horseshit. And they'd still go and see it a million times.
I get it, but that's why I don't like the... like we do, critique the movie. But don't... To me, it's like making up your own reason to be upset about a movie. It's like, oh, there's no stakes in this movie. No, that's not true. There's stakes in every movie. Just like I know you don't like Superman, but like knowing that he holds back his power so he doesn't kill innocent people, knowing that there are people out there in the world, in the universe, who can kill him. Not Batman, by the way. Knowing that just because he's the most powerful man in it, not really the most powerful man, but he's like a god, that doesn't mean that he can't die.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean there's not somebody stronger. That doesn't mean that there's no stakes. And that's what I don't like about the stakes game. It's like, oh, okay, he becomes Superman and he's the most powerful being on Earth. That's Earth. In DC, we step outside of Earth a lot.
Yeah.
Just because you love Batman, that doesn't mean that literally everybody else is not from Earth, like besides Wonder Woman and Cyborg. Everybody else is like an alien in this Justice League.
Yeah.
Or Flash, I guess, whatever. But Aquaman's from a whole different city underneath the water.
Martian Manhunter from Mars.
Same.
Green Lantern, their powers come from space.
Same.
And a ton of them are fucking aliens.
Yes. So, like, that's my thing. Like, there's stakes to a lot of different things.
Yeah, because Thanos in Infinity War couldn't be touched.
At all.
Tony had to go apeshit on him for all that for a drop of blood. And then they kill him in the first 20 minutes of Endgame.
Boom.
Who would have thought that was going to happen? Not me. Not us.
No. I was upset.
When you and I went and saw that movie and they chopped his head off and then it just said Endgame, we were like, is that it? Holy shit.
No, the Endgame thing didn't happen yet.
I thought it came up like right after he cuts his head off and walks out of the room.
Nope. It goes black.
Yeah, I thought it went black and then like Endgame.
It says 5 years later.
Okay.
I was looking around like, I need some help. Somebody has to tell me something. I didn't know what was going on. See, that's why I don't like the guessing game either. Because, like, if I'm guessing all this stuff and comics and all this other stuff, and don't get me wrong, I get about reading the comics because that came out beforehand.
Yeah.
But if I'm just...
But I wasn't going and reading. I wasn't going like, all right, Infinity Endgame's coming up. Let me go read the whole Infinity Saga comics because I would have been way out in fucking left field.
Also,
because some of the characters from that don't exist yet in the MCU.
But yeah, and that's the thing. I'm like, okay, I don't like the guessing game because the guessing game is only going to set me up for a letdown. A, because it always does. Or B, I'm not going to be excited. I want to be excited.
Yeah, I don't want to go in a movie and be like, told ya.
Yeah.
I've been telling you guys for years.
Like,
well, then how Endgame was going to be.
People are so miserable.
And if anyone thinks they did that, they were fucking wrong.
I know for a fact when I watch movies, I have a great fucking time.
Yeah.
And I can tell you there's a lot of people who don't. And I'm like,
I like to have a good time.
They just don't. They're like, okay, who was it? Let me figure it out. But I don't have time for that. Let the movie that's their job.
Yes.
They make millions and millions of The Rock fans. They make
and millions. God damn it! I like that. I like that.
Thank you
for that.
Yeah, you're one of them. But
God damn it,
they make millions of dollars to do these movies. Let them set me up.
Yeah,
even set me up for the letdown. But let me be let down organically.
I love letting people ask me that and then not telling them.
What?
They're like, "Oh, what happens next?" I'm not telling you.
Oh no, I never. No.
When Tyler and I watched Knives Out, he was like, "Oh, Chris Evans is in this. Oh, he's obviously the killer." Like after they show his whole blowout with Max von Sydow, I was like, "Oh, that's clearly the killer." And I was like,
Christopher Plummer.
Let's watch it. God damn it. Wait, was it? I thought it was Max von Sydow on that one.
No, it's Christopher. No, it's Christopher Plummer.
I'm going. Well, let's go to the videotape because I'm pretty sure it's Max von Sydow.
No, he was in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah, he was in Force Awakens.
You might be right.
I gotta look it up. I gotta make sure. I have to vindicate myself. Knives Out.
You sure it's not Christopher Plummer?
Yeah, I feel like you're trying to lead me into a trap.
I'm not. I just thought it was Christopher Plummer.
I feel like
We talk about it a lot.
God damn it! It's Christopher Plummer, son of a bitch.
I was like, no, because hey, well, they look different. But
God damn you. Do they?
I told you.
Do we?
On this podcast, I'm always right. God damn it.
God damn it. You're right. But yeah, when he's like, Tyler's like, he's a killer.
Yeah.
Like, let's get there. Like, we'll get there together.
Yeah.
And then like some things happen. It's like, he's a good guy. I was like, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Megan loves to do it too. And you're like, what's gonna happen? Like if we watch animes where I've read the books and I know what's coming. She's like, what's gonna happen? I'm like, I'm not telling you. She's like, just tell me. Why do you want me to just tell you? She's like, so I know. I was like, you will know in like 10 seconds if you
just
unpause this video, and you're gonna find out by the time I finish speaking.
Yeah, facts.
And like it's only like a minor annoyance. We're like, what's gonna happen? I'm like, well, let's just watch it, because she's also very good at being like, okay, you're right, let's just watch it.
I don't answer any questions. Hey, what's gonna happen? I don't know. Haven't seen it.
Yeah, or I will play dumb.
I know you've seen this. I saw you watch this. I
have played dumb before. She's like,
memory's bad.
Yeah, like, what's gonna happen? I don't know. She's like, I know you own the book is sitting right next to you on the table. What's gonna happen? Haven't read it yet. She's like, it is
beats me.
Not the newest one that you have. What's gonna happen? I'm just not gonna tell you.
I don't know. I know. I do it all the time. And then, because my girlfriend guesses, because again, she's smart and she guesses a lot of shit. And I'm just like, can't be sure. And then then you know what I really like doing? Leading people in the wrong direction. I'm like, I know that makes sense, but you're gonna hear the real twist. And then they start guessing other people, and I'm like, you're way wrong. You're way off because you were right at first.
Like a liar.
Yes. I was just like, no. So I don't know where we're at anyway in this show.
I don't either. But I think I started us on the topic of stakes.
That's fair, and I went on a
and how they don't, and how it's a stupid argument to make, because it kind of is. Because for one, if you want to really get into the stakes of anything, it's all fucking fictional.
Fair.
So the only thing at stake here is you allowing yourself to be entertained by a movie, and whether you will or will not allow that. And why would you not allow that?
I wish there weren't so many YouTube channels of people guessing what's going to happen in the next blah blah blah. I really wish there wasn't. Because not only if you watch one video called Avengers, all the millions of videos are going to pop up.
But still go, including ours, go watch those.
Yeah, but these are reviews. These people are just guessing.
Yeah.
Or they've read the comics, like the guy on, I think I told you what his name was, something goofy. You said, I think you told me it was either an anime or a cartoon. I think it's like Straw Hat Goofy.
Yes.
You
told me about him.
That's his name.
It was a TikTok. It wasn't a TikTok channel?
Yeah, a TikTok.
TikTok channel. Wasn't it a TikTok channel? God damn it.
We are only 30, guys. 30-ish.
Ish, yes.
We have not
don't shave those years off of my life, Keith. I lived those lives.
Facts. I agree.
I lived those lives.
Yeah, because you told me isn't like a...
Yeah, it's like almost the name of a character from my favorite show.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so he does a lot of comics. He has comics, blah blah. And so what did I find out? It was either Loki or somebody else. And it had to been Loki. I was watching, he was talking about Loki, and then he said something about Kang, and I had no idea what Kang was.
Oh, Kang the Conqueror.
And so when we talked about it, I was like, I know now. But I didn't know then. And I was like, again, I just let them set it up for me. Don't tell me. But it was a TikTok, and I'm
just like how everyone knew Mephisto was going to be in WandaVision. And also, they knew he was going to be in Loki.
I really wish I could tell you the theory that he said about, did I tell you Loki, I think it was? He has this theory, and I was like, I don't know if that's good or bad, but, like, I'm intrigued.
Well, according to things that I have seen, it seems like that could be a possibility.
What, Mephisto or Kang?
The Kang thing.
No, I'm
who knows? But still, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either, but I'm almost, I don't want to say sure.
Right. because honestly, I've never been sure.
Same.
I didn't know that fucking Frog Thor was going to show up in.
Didn't even know what that was. I didn't know it was a frog because
Yeah.
I didn't go back and look at it. I just knew it was Thor.
Yeah.
I thought it was a.
And apparently that was
Thor.
Chris Hemsworth's voice. I just saw it on a thing today saying that he voiced that.
Oh, did he speak?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Like it was like you had to kind of be paying attention. But yeah. Because you see Mjolnir.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you see like the frog.
Yeah, my son was telling me about it. He was like,
I had to look. I was like, that was fucking. Megan's like, what was that? I was like, that was fucking Frog Thor. She's like, what? Like, same question. What is that?
My question still stands.
Yeah, and I was like, there's a point in like the old comics, even when like Thor turned into a frog, and it was stupid, and it was hilarious, and that's it. That's all it needed to be. But apparently, that was Chris Hemsworth doing it too.
Oh, that's funny.
Which I thought was great.
Yeah,
because apparently that's also him in the What If show. A lot of the actors who played the characters are those characters in the thing, except for a couple.
Chadwick, probably.
No, that's the last thing he did for them was record that.
That's awesome.
But it was a couple actors, I forget, because the headline for an article was Marvel quietly recasts 2 actors in What If.
I saw that article.
Don't fucking stir shit up.
I saw that article.
It is an animated series.
I saw that article.
And I don't think they were main characters.
And I didn't even read it. I was like, I don't care.
I forget who I read it, and I was like, it doesn't fucking matter.
I feel like the picture was Brie Larson and Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I think those are the 2 that were like, that they said the article said. Because, again, I didn't watch it, but that was the picture, and I was like, I don't believe you. Yeah. Because I know Doctor Strange is coming out.
Because it was
I know
like,
it's Benedict.
And I think it was 2 characters, but it wasn't like, it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't them.
It wasn't Thor. Because I heard him, I was like, that sounds like it could be him. But it also might not be. But
Did
it
you
does
go
sound
back
a
and
lot
rewind
like
it?
him.
And
I listened to it and I was like, was that actually Chris Hemsworth? And then I read that article that said like, oh, recast, and they were like, no, that was Chris Hemsworth as Thor. And I was like, that's great. And it is Chadwick Boseman.
That's awesome.
And it is I forget who else the other ones. Like they pretty much almost everyone in it is who they were.
Yeah.
Except for I think they said 2 people, and I can't remember who they were, and I'll go look it up at another point. But
I'm good.
I just want to see it because I remember it not. I remember not caring.
Same. All right, let's go to Slushie Meter for Black Widow.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
Okay. I'm going to give this movie.
Same.
Oh, this is tough.
Same.
Because I did like it.
Yeah, me too. I didn't think I was going to like it.
I'm going to give this movie a 3.75.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Because it fits in. It happens right after one of my favorite movies.
Fair.
In Civil War.
Not my favorite.
No?
It's okay.
It's not the favorite, but it's up there. Actually, I mean, it might be, but it's really high up there.
Because that's a Captain America movie, right?
Technically, yes.
Winter Soldier.
Strongest trilogy. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, we did say that, didn't we?
They're like, I think, I forget if you said that someone said it and you agreed, or if you said it and I agreed with you. But either way, yes.
It's been said.
Yes, it has been said by someone, and I agree. Because it's got Winter Soldier in it, and
I feel like
War
I'm not making like hot takes. I feel like I'm just stating the truth on these things.
You just right.
And
sometimes.
I'm just like, do you guys not see what I'm saying?
Hot takes. Batman's never the coolest part of any Batman movie.
That is so true.
And that still stands because Batfleck has not gotten his own movie,
and he won't. He's gonna be in Flash.
What was the other one he said that Kylo Ren's a better villain than Darth Vader?
Yeah,
in the movies at least. Yeah,
yeah.
Because like comic Vader apparently is a badass. In the video games, Vader's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
In the movies, he doesn't do a ton. He's intimidating, but only because he's like a giant man with a booming voice and a red lightsaber who could choke you. He doesn't do a ton aside from that.
His voice is what, and this is what I was saying, and that's what I was telling him. I was like, the Vader we needed was Rogue One.
Yes,
that's That's Vader
because he's still an iconic character.
Yeah, for
doesn't mean he's a threatening villain.
Facts. I agree.
It doesn't mean he's like the be all end all of like, oh, no one's ever going to be as great as Darth Vader. And when you start putting characters from like the past up on the pedestal like that, you disallow yourself from enjoying anything that comes after that.
Yes.
And
exactly.
I think it took you talking to me about it to be like, yeah, Kylo Ren was a good villain. Because the first time I saw the movie, it's like, I don't know how I feel about this guy. Because I really just wanted him to be evil. But he was just evil for the first movie and for at least the first No, I'm going to say the first two movies
First
of
two
the
movies.
trilogy,
Yeah.
because he was definitely just fucking with Rey in the second one.
What did he do? Like I said, his Death Star was better.
Yeah.
His
Starkiller Base?
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on.
It was a planet.
Come on. And not only that, it killed multiple planets at once.
In one shot.
One shot. Easy. Yeah. And literally, I'm like, okay, let's go there. And then the next thing to go to is he put his entire arsenal to kill one man, Luke Skywalker. He thought he was, and he shot him down. Vader had a hard time shooting Luke in the fucking first one. Like, he had a really hard, he was like, this feels weird. The Force is talking to me. And then he gets shot. The best pilot in the galaxy gets shot down by Millennium Falcon. Who's really the best pilot in the galaxy? Because it was Anakin. So should have been Darth Vader. Just throwing it out there. And Han came and beep boop. I'll see you again, Spider-Man.
I kind of want to make a point.
No, go ahead, make a point.
It's not really a point. It's like a what if thing. Or it's like a does this mean that thing. Anakin was the best pilot in the galaxy.
Oh, yeah, they're two different people?
Is Darth Vader the best pilot? Like, does that
Listen,
mean Darth Vader's the best
I
pilot in
agree.
the galaxy with his robot hands and feet?
I'm making the argument the way people
this
make it to me.
This is just a question.
No, you're absolutely correct.
I have no answer myself. I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm okay with that. Why? Because I'm making the argument the way people make their arguments to me. So here's the thing. I try to come with facts and logic and all this other stuff, right? I realize that my facts and logic goes over a lot of people's head. Or they don't want to answer my questions that I pose. And they want to talk about what they want to talk about. So I like to talk in their terms. If you think Darth Vader and Anakin are the same person, great. He's the best pilot in the galaxy then. And if he is it Han or is it Anakin? Which one? And everyone's going to say Han because the prequels don't matter. Okay. All right, great. If the prequels don't matter, then Darth Vader's trash. Simple and plain. Sorry. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't lead the Empire. He doesn't kill anybody without being told by Sidious. Sidious kills Jedi. He didn't kill Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi did not get struck down with a lightsaber.
Obi let it happen.
So, at the end of the day, the only thing Vader did was kill Sidious. And first off, he didn't even kill him. Matter of fact,
yeah,
he didn't even kill him because we're going off the movies, and that's another thing I don't like. Just because you didn't like a movie doesn't mean that the movie didn't happen.
Well, also in the books, there's a whole thing about Sidious not dying in the books.
Fair.
I never read them.
Same.
But I know that they existed.
Exactly.
So people are getting mad at the movies. Take your rage somewhere else.
Same.
Also,
well, here's my thing. They're like, oh, they're just trying to make people happy with Rise of Skywalker. Okay, cool, but it still happened. So we got to talk about it. And I don't like, again, it's the whole stakes argument. You can't just disregard a movie just because you didn't like it. It still happened. Rey's still a Jedi. She didn't have a family. She took on the Skywalker name. No one cares. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just deal with it. Suck it up. Vader lost the election. Suck it up.
Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
Same. Either way, we're way off and going super long.
That's what we do.
That's fair. Slushie Meter, you said 3.75.
Yes.
I'm going to agree with you.
Okay.
Because I'm in between a 4 and a 3.5.
Yeah.
So 3.75.
I did enjoy the movie. I feel like 3.75 is a solid score.
I enjoyed it far more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
And because of the show, because Yelena, she was amazing. Red Guardian was great. Natasha wasn't bad.
No.
She wasn't bad.
She wasn't bad. But
I just don't like her.
She got upstaged by, and I think they may have done that on purpose, that they let her be upstaged by a character who will be, for all intents and purposes, seeming to be taking her place.
Yes. A lot of people thought this movie was going to undo what happened with the Time Stone thing. I'm like, no, the old girl, she's done.
No, that was, honest. When they showed her grave, I was like, if there's a fucking soul stone there, I'm just going to have even more questions. But there wasn't.
Oh, you thought that could be a
I was like, I didn't know what was going to happen.
Fair.
But at the same tone, if what I thought was going to happen was Yelena's going to whistle, which she did. And when she whistled, I was like, if there's another whistle, I'm just going to poop my pants. Or I don't know what's going to happen.
Because they did it at the end of the movie, and I was like, okay, cool. And then when she did it at the grave, I was like, oh, here it comes. And then, like I said, they showed Valentina, and I was like, I thought it was Agatha at first because of the purple hair. And I was like, why is
I thought it was Melina. On it, like when they first showed like a
really?
woman in a dark coat, I was like, "Is that Melina?" And then she took the cloth, the tissue or whatever, handkerchief or whatever, and it was Elaine.
Elaine Bennis.
Loved it.
And I was like, that's when I sat up. When I saw, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I was like, show me U.S. agent.
And I was waiting for fucking John Walker to like step up from behind a tree and get booed.
I was too.
Step from behind a tree.
I would have
like
cheered.
A bird shits on his shoulder or something. I would have cheered for that bird.
I love the U.S. agent.
For that bird.
I didn't like him as faux Captain America, but U.S. agent, give me more of them. Give me a fake shield. Oh, yeah. Man. That shield was durable.
Hey, I'm Captain America. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Captain America, nice to meet you. I fucking hate you. Fuck you, Tom.
I love it, right?
You're a real smart ass, aren't you?
I love U.S. agent. I'm excited. And so I guess it's, my son said something about some kind of Dark Avengers or something. I was like, I don't know anything about that.
I've heard of it, and I'm only vaguely aware of it.
So he was saying that the people on the internet, because that's where he gets all his info from. Because
I mean, there's a lot of info on that internet.
It's always wrong. But, yeah, because
I don't know Wikipedia. Anyone can write anything. So
the Wikipedia.
So you know, look that up on the Wikipedia. Wikipedia is an incredible thing. Anyone can write anything. So you know you're getting the best information.
Fair, but his is usually wrong. Because I'll be like, he'll say something, and I was like, that didn't happen. He was like, it didn't? I'm like, sir, no. Stop listening. I was like, you got to look up for yourself.
There are people out there with nothing better to do than go make fucking change Wikipedia entries because they're sad.
He just watches YouTube videos. So all these people who think they know better than Marvel say all these things, and he sees them. And then he comes to me, and I'm like, that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that didn't happen. So either way, Black Widow.
Solid.
Pretty good movie.
Yeah.
I would say go see it. I had a good time in the theaters.
Yeah, honestly.
It was a fun time.
It's nice. It's nice having surround sound.
Fair.
When like gunshots were happening off camera and you heard them like behind you or off to the right or off to the left, it was neat.
Yeah, fair.
I don't get that. I don't get that sitting on my couch at home because I don't have a surround sound system because they're kind of fucking impractical if you live in an apartment.
Yeah, I gotta get one. When we move into a house, I gotta get one.
There you go.
Because, oh man, I'm so excited. Anyway, either way, so
good luck setting it up. I wish you all the luck in the world on that front.
Listen, bro.
Geek Squad gonna come in. And
Everybody's. I will pay people to do shit that I don't want to do.
That's fair. I mean, that's why all these businesses exist. You'd think.
Yes. Either way, okay. So that was Black Widow. 3.75 all the way around. Yelena started the show all the way around.
Oh, I'd also like to throw in, if I could like fan cast this movie, I would take out, I can't remember the guy's name, Winstone, the guy who played Dreykov. Yeah. I would put in Bob Hoskins. Just throwing it out there. I think he'd do a great job.
I would put in John Goodman.
Ooh.
He would do a better job.
He'd do an okay job. He'd do a pretty good job. No, not okay. He would do a good job because I do like John Goodman. I do like John Goodman.
He's still pushing his air conditioner school.
That is what's up.
Either way. All right, guys, go ahead and follow us on all the things. Spotify and the such. Also, YouTube page and Twitter at Slushie Review. Yeah, we're going to be done. This has been Keith.
And president of the Bob Hoskins fan club, Chris.
It always reminded me of, and now their first time as a couple, Phyllis and Bob Vance.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bob Vance.
You can now kiss the bride. And now as their first time as a couple.
This isn't over.
About.
This isn't over yet.
We're out of here, guys. Bye.